All right. I think we're good. Get set up here. Woo. All right. I think we're good. Yes. Woo. Oh. All right. People starting to get tuned in. Sorry. A little bit of a almost late start. Oh, goodness. Whew. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Trying to take the axles out of the Rift right now. And I forgot how much of a pain in the butt it is to actually work on these. Those will stay there. Got to get the electronics out of the way. Hey, Theron. Hey, since you're watching, I need one of these. I broke it. Steven, how's it going? Yeah, this will work. Indy, how's it going? Thanks for tuning back in. Sorry, him was a late start. I am hot and dirty right now. It's a kind of a late day. Crazy. Had a big ticket to get done at work today, so wanted to get it done, and had to run a couple errands directly after work. Then grab the little one and head home, and just in time to get this started. My brother-in-law Jake found this in his old room and dropped it off, and I'm not going to say no to anything Star Wars, so we're probably going to hang it probably right about there at some point after I break some stuff. Woo. Drift Craze, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Steven, it's okay if you missed the last one. I forgot to post a little bit of it. I'm trying to figure out how to get it to post on the channel with more of a heads up than what we got, than what's going. Just kind of a little bit of a late one for me. But I wanted to get the live in this week. Next week, I will be getting some business work, some other stuff done. So, and then the week after is King, Missouri. Now, I probably, I don't know if I'll go live from King, Missouri, but I will get some footage, video, something. We're gonna figure something out. I'm not gonna remember where any of these are, but it is okay. We will figure it out. So, the reason we're taking the Rift apart is we got some Trio axle housings, and really excited for these. I've been wanting to get some going, and then Trio added them to our Amazon store. So I was like, prime shipping, let's do it. So we went with orange, and you know, this thing It's pretty bright and colorful, so I think we're gonna dub my Rift. I think I'm gonna start calling it Rainbow Road, with all the uncoordinating colors. But I mean, we see my glasses and everything else. So, well, Dallas, he's on the way. It's not a done deal yet, but he ain't going nowhere. He can stay. Mishima, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Indy, I started at 5 this morning, loading trucks, got 10 hours a day. Yeah, I did valve stem seals today, so that was a fun one. Came out pretty good. Got it almost wrapped up, enough to comfortably call it a day. Fire it up tomorrow, make sure everything's all good, and we'll be good to go. I'm just trying to get a lot of my bigger stuff done because I'm going to be got a lot of stuff going here over the next month and a half. So trying to get everything I can in while I can. Whew. Oh, so many. All this. Whew. So many. One more, I think. Yes. All this. I mean, honestly, I just need this to unplug the receiver, or yeah, the steering servo from the receiver box. Then I'll be good to go. I think. Ha. Whew. It's getting there. Thin Digital, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, orange is sweet. So we got orange housings. Not all of it's here yet, so I'm just getting these apart because it's going to take me a couple days. But we have black link mounts coming for the axles and black knuckles for the axles as well. I went with orange Trio sway bars and silver Trio, orange Trio trailing arms, and then we went with silver Trio sway bar. So that stuff should be in there. The only other thing I'm missing from them at some point will be the upper link mounts. I will probably get those ordered sometime soon, but honestly, the upper mounts, they're in a pretty solid location, and links. I definitely will get the links at some point too. Just they ran out of links right before I could order them. I really wanted the lowers because that's the only thing of as many times as I sent the Rift so far. The only thing I've broken are 2 rod ends, both on the lower links, both the rod ends into the skid plates. All I've broken so far. Gary, good evening. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Austin, are the 2660 big bores 90 millimeters? No, they are close. They eye to eye. The big bores measure 84 millimeters, but you can make them 90. Let me dig through. I organized the other day, and I don't know where I put anything whatsoever. Oh. But if you get some of the Deluxe Fab shock caps, that will fit on the big bores. Oops. The way the mount or the in link goes in the top, it will extend a little bit. So if you are needing a little more length, that is an option to go with there as well. And like I said, sorry, my hands are dirty. I've been in the thick of it today, so kind of relaxing a little bit, get this going. Thinking about putting the Rift axles on my SMT10. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, they're definitely beefy, and I definitely can tell checking posts and stuff. There's definitely a difference in the materials from the kits to the early RTRs. I believe the RTRs coming out now got I believe they said they made a change to the plastics. Theron, blue. Yeah, let's do. Ooh. What do you guys think for the rooftop skid? Blue or red? Blue would match the front of that. Red would kind of look, it would almost match with something. It would match my wheels. They're on you pick. Either one, I'm going to be happy. Drift Craze, I heard that truck, there was a lot of issues. Yeah, with the Rift, there was, in the early, I believe there was something wrong with the mold or the materials melted down, everything. There was something in the material, the way it was molded was weaker than what it was supposed to be. So a lot of the early RTRs, and it got released in winter time, towards the end, in the cold spell. So people were taking them out in the cold, and so the plastics were harder, but in the cold, they were more brittle. So especially when the early RTRs came out, as everyone experienced, I'm sure some form of those cold spells this year. Even the slightest impact would snap the axles. There were some other things. There weren't lockers out right off the bat, so it was open diffs. So you're trying to find ways to do that, or eating up diff gears and stuff like that. But since then, stuff's rolled out. There wasn't a lot of aftermarket support right off the bat. Everything's starting to roll. Trio, Viviton, there's several others that are starting to make a lot of stuff out for it, get them rolling. But which is, I believe, probably why the kit was delayed, because I think the kit was supposed to come out earlier. I could be completely wrong on that. But I know they made changes, and even there was such a bad problem. Axle said if you break an axle, go through their warranty procedure, and they were sending out axle housings. And they were stock axle housings, but they were sending them out, which meant they did pretty good hitting the issue ahead, at least getting people replacement parts. Because normally a snap axle housing like that's something that's not, in my opinion, probably wouldn't be warranty, because it's like, oh, that's abuse if you're breaking that. But they knew there was a problem. They got it got it addressed. But honestly, the kit, I haven't had any problems. And the kit came with sway bar, which wasn't optional on the RTR. Came with the metal plates here on the trailing arms, and it came with one locker. When I built mine, I put the locker in the center diff, and currently still, I have them ordered, but I'm not putting them in yet. I'm still leaving front and rear open for right now. I probably will. I'm gonna do some testing this weekend, but if they get here next week, I'll probably put a locker in the front only for right now and see how that does. Excuse me. Indy, got a Three Brothers servo winch in this week. Have to get the power lead soldered in and figure out where going to mount the G-Speed. Oh, that'll be good. So you got the VFD trans in there. Probably have to decide. Are you doing lay down servo mount or dual servo mount? Dual servo mount would be right there, but other than that, one of the G-Speed winch mounts off to the side would do just fine. Getting all that connected, get them soldered in, or I've been using a lot of the XT60s that come with the dual plug, so those have worked well for me, or just solder them to the battery plug. Not a big deal there. Jake, red, sounds good. Brett, thanks for tuning in there. Juarez, I just got my G-Speed chassis with Capra axles. Any suggestions? What do you want to know? Capra is a pretty, I guess you're going to want to ditch the transmission. The Capra transmission, finding a skid, there are skids available now, but to use the stock transmission, but honestly, the stock Capra transmission is not worth it, even though it has dig. The gearing is just geared way too high. I think it'd be better off even just putting in an axial 3-gear transmission, bump up the pinion a little bit to get some of that wheel speed back, and be good to go. If they are stock Capra axle housings, be a little careful. Similar like the 10.3 portal and the Capra axle portal, I've snapped my fair share of them. If you get in a bind, stop. If that tire looks like it, right when you're about that bind, if you give it that little more, it will snap about the knuckle almost every time. Custom RC Crawler, thanks for tuning in. Would I rather build an AR60 V3 with behind the axle servo mount, rear steer, and Vanquish on it, or AR45s? That's a toughie. I will be doing an AR45 portal build again here soon. But don't know a time frame on that. I know I have axles and some other things. I think probably ready to rock and roll for it, but I need to pick a chassis for it, go from there. But honestly, I do still want to do an AR60 with build. They're just nasty. Which will probably be what my class 3 I need to widen up, but I won't be going with AR60s on that. I will be going with the beef tube XR with AR44s. Just so all my links and everything else are just that much better and easier to work with. But I mean, AR60s, if you're not you're going class 3 with it, or just for just overall, killing the rocks. I mean, either way is going to be pretty solid. Let's see here. Austin is putting the corrupt Carbonworks Reaper shock hoops on a G-Speed V1C1 legal. I think so. Yeah, I believe the rails just have to be metal. The hoops, yes, because the Team Garage Hack motor mount, they have an option to change the hoops on the V1C1 from aluminum to carbon fiber. So I guess I don't know the shape of those very well. I don't think the shape would have anything necessarily to be frowned upon. But yeah, if you're worried about material wise, yes, they should be legal as far as I know, because I know they make carbon fiber options for the class 1. Steven, dude, the American flag body. Which one? So we'll take a break from that for a second, I guess. Yes, I was going through redoing some bodies the other day. I was going to do an obnoxious color on my class 1 to get it going. Send down, clean it up, hit it with a primer, and I was sitting there staring at it with the white, and I was like, I should just do it. So we went with red, white, and blue stripes, hit the stars on there. So it's pretty ready to rock and roll. Just something, before the bigger comps, I'll just spice up a little bit. But this one's ready to rock and roll. There is one part I'm waiting on to change up a transmission, but it should be good to go. Indy, lay down servo mount. Thing's going to have to go behind one of the sliders. That is where I've seen people do that as well with the VFD, is behind the sliders. You can get a couple standalone like servo mounts and probably drill in some holes, or even the G-Speed servo mount. You can place it back there, probably use an unused link hole and drill your own holes and mount it there too. And then just get some, some guide, some tubing, and guide it all the way back up to the front, and you'll be good to go. Jake, yes, you do have my AR60s. You do. Yeah, AR60 builds. Cause crawlers. I was going to do both C3 and Kill the Rocks. Well, for comping, man, I still prefer straight axles for comping, especially being a class 3. I mean, your AR60s are going to get you wide. For class 3, you can go, if you're worried about clearance, going big tire with the straight axles will be okay. So you're still going to keep your CG down. That was one reason I did my class 3 was a Capra axle class 3, full rear steer and everything. Monstrous on 1.9s. I did not like it on 2.2s. And for King Missouri and Crawlapalooza, I do have to run a 2.2 or 5-inch or taller tire. So I got rid of the Capra axles. I went with some straight AR44s for right now. So it is a little narrow. I would like to wind it up, but I don't think I can get any of that stuff in time and completely learn how to drive a nice new white truck all over again. And link-wise too, just with AR60s, links are the thing. You're definitely going to want to get a good set of custom links ordered. I obviously will recommend In the Works RC. Get all that going, but there may be a little bit right now. They had some very, very sad stuff happen them. So maybe a little bit on that, but definitely you'll want to get some good links for the AR60s, because that's the more complicated part of the AR60s with how wide out the link mounts are to bringing it inside to the skid. Juarez, what axles would you recommend for it? Just about every axle of choice. For V3, any axle. AR44s, AR45 straight axles, four-wheel steer AR44s. I have the kiddo's newest truck has Red Cat Wendigo wide straight axles under it. I've done AR45 portals. I've done Capra portals. We have a TRX4 portal build. That comes down to the kind of axles you like. I like AR44 straight axle or AR45 if you're going straight axles, unless Vanquish, obviously. Vanquish axles obviously always fit in that situation. So AR44, AR45s are my straight axle preferred. Portal axle, either TRX4 axle, just because of its strength factor and how strong and dependable that axle is, or performance-wise, the AR45 axle because it has the best turning rates out of a portal axle that I've personally used. Ow. Whew. Great. Oh, yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. That TRX4 build looked good. Links, everything looked great. Indy, thinking about building a V3. Do I go 12.3 with portals or 11.4 for C1? I mean, build another V3. Well, if you're doing a V3 chassis, it would have to be not class 1 because class 1 has to have this style of frame, not that specific style, but frame with bolt-on shock towers, metal material, which you can get the V3 metal. But if you're doing class 1, 11.4 with portals, I recommend the AR45s just because they're turning. If you're going V3 with those and kind of killer, I like the 12.5 to 12.75 wheelbase myself. That's just become a sweet spot of mine, just getting it just that little bit longer. It helps a lot with some inclines and stuff like that. So that's becoming my sweet spot. Gary, yeah. V3 of the Air 60s in the works. Has not said, allows 2 weeks to start. Yep. Sounds good. That'll be a pretty sweet build when it gets going. Oh, I'm still not done yet. All of that for those 2 pieces. 1 second here. Oh. I can actually get this receiver box out of here real quick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I zip tied everything, which is good, except when I actually need to do something else. Woohoo! All that just to get some power wires out of the way. Sorry. Custom thinking Capra axle and Air 60. For that reason, I was going to get some from Hardcore C and some links from Vanquish too. Nice. Yeah, if you're doing both, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can never have too many builds, right? I do enjoy building, so I mean, I will go through and try a lot of different stuff just because I just enjoy building trucks a lot. So, I think it is time though for a drag build. I did order the Proline Super Body. Don't know when it'll be here, but it is ordered. So we'll see how that turns out. Maybe a little bit. And yes, I will. I know some people were talking last time, and I started looking. I'll probably start picking up some stuff. We'll do a 24 build. Said it'll probably be close to winter though. That way it just gives me something to do during winter when weather disagrees with me going outside all the time. 1 second. Boop. Thank you. Okay. Whew, sorry. Let me get back here and check some of this stuff. Oh no. Whew. Oh, you keep all checking in. Love your videos. Oh, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support, man. Appreciate it. Mark, will I be making videos of King, Missouri? Yes. Yes, I will. I will try to. I got some stuff for holding the GoPros, and obviously I always have the phone, stuff like that. Got some sticks ready to go, because that has been my worst part of going to larger comps. I get in the zone and focused, and I forget to video. Actually, our whole group, we could go out for a regular, normal, just have fun crawl, and we could have 3,000 pictures and 700 videos. When it comes to comping, even just local, we'll have 2 pictures and 1 video. So I'm going to work on that. So I'm probably, depends on where I'm at running, I'll probably do my runs and then get some video. So there might not be necessarily my runs, but I'll just get videos of whoever I can, stuff like that. Austin, probably do a little video on the way down there too. So that is one thing with King, Missouri coming up and some stuff next week. Videos maybe, I'll try to do a couple more, get the Rift done and do a video on the Rift. And just maybe a random video here or there, or one final King, Missouri to go over every single truck. And that'll probably call it good till King, Missouri. Austin, have I ever used any brass knuckles on VS410 Pro axles? No, I have not. But the Pro axles, I believe the regular AR44 10-2 knuckles will fit. I know I've read that somewhere before. Oh, well, thank you, Thin Digital. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know how the YouTube stuff works, so, but yeah, sure, hit the like button. Speaking of, we will be doing some stuff here. I think it was about time. Yes, Theron. I will also. Theron's getting a new Class 1 body. Good old Hilux. We're going to be doing a video on flaring his fenders. So we'll try not to butcher it too much because it's his, and I don't want to have to buy another body. But it's been a while. I figured it's probably about time maybe do a little giveaway. Been talking with a couple other people, get a few things donated and just get a giveaway going, some other stuff like that. So probably about that time, maybe even I did get some new plates from RC Plate Shop. We got Crawl On and TRD Adventures. So good there. Maybe even just get a few of these made up for giveaway, or maybe something along those lines. Just something cool. I still need to invest in a little Cricut decal maker. So that's on the list at some point in time. Yep. Where's landscaping? Can I use the stock skid plates from the TRX4 or stock skid plate from an axle? For G-Speed, it is SCX10 bolt pattern style for the skid there to get everything bolted up there. I mean, if you're doing TRX4 and want to use TRX4 transmission, I personally don't recommend it because the TRX4 transmission is big and bulky, and it's a lot of work with the skid plate to get everything to work right. And you got a couple flatbeds from IERC. Yes, the flatbeds from IERC are awesome. I've rocked several of their flatbeds over the time. Just awesome, good stuff there. Is there going to be a rift class at the comp? Not a rift specific class, but there is a hill climber, bouncer type class. So I obviously don't have any of the full fancy builders like this, but this is just something that's going to let me have a little bit of fun and see how it goes from there. But I am liking the rift a lot. It's done really, really well. So should be plenty of fun there. Gene Smith, want to build a cheater rig. It's a lost G-made rails, like the G-Speed truck or G-made trucks or G-Speed build. I mean, one of the deals, I do have the playlist, which is the G-Speed building playlist. I have several videos that may be out of order now because I went back and redone a couple, but do have the video on my cheater builds at the time, or just what it takes to build a G-Speed chassis, stuff like that. There's a lot to take into consideration, but it is not impossible. It's really not that bad. Sourcing parts right now is the hardest part. Just lots of stuff out of stock, lots of stuff in very, very high demand right now. So that is one thing to take into consideration with any of these builds right now. Getting parts, especially in the wintertime, people are going to start getting new builds, rocking and rolling. But also there are bigger comps, so people are getting their last builds finished up for said comps, stuff like that, like myself. So I even have a few extra things myself in case something happens. You want to have extras. You don't want to, just boom, that's it. Whole comp is over because I broke one thing and I didn't prepare and bring an extra. But also, going into wintertime, a lot of people, like I said, start saving up, get some builds rolling for wintertime. So, and just, the way everything is right now, parts are still kind of hard to get to. There's still some, got one out, still some shipping issues and stuff like that. Patience is super, super, super key right now with everyone. A lot of these companies, they are smaller. They do this on the side. They have regular jobs. So they don't like it as much as much as we don't like it, they don't like it either, because no products, they're not selling stuff, et cetera, how it all works. But like I said, patience that's just going to be the biggest and key thing right now, is staying calm and cool with everybody. Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff. I'm gonna lose all these brake rotors. So it will be easier to build my V3 off a Gen 7 than my TRX4 as a donor. I believe the skid on the Gen 7 is different. I know the transmission pattern is just slightly different. Actually, Gen 7 skid may bolt up to the side, but the transmission, yeah, it would work. The axles, if you could mesh them together with 3-gear style transmission like that with the TRX4 axles, because the TRX4 axles are better than Red Cat axles. Just stronger, better, and those Gen 7s have those huge pumpkins in them, like the original SCX-10 did. Yeah. Austin, I think we're all waiting for those. KLR M's are in stock right now, or they were like an hour ago when I checked. I don't need any M's. I don't think I need any M's right now. No, I think I'm good on M's right now, so I don't necessarily need any of those. But it might not hurt to have an extra set. But the OGs should be going along soon. I know, yeah, like I said, he made some changes to it, so they'll be updated. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fantastic and nice and good, ready to rock and roll. Just everything goes fast. I know that was a thing the other night with the drag tires, because I was actually waiting myself too, just since I'm considering doing a drag build. I might as well make sure I have some very awesome tires to go with it. So I was thinking about grabbing some, but that did not work out. So there's a stripped down Rift. Just set it up there for right now. But yeah, this is gonna look nice. That'll be a nice little upgrade. get all that stuff swapped over. Still got some, like I said, link mounts. Be here like tomorrow or Saturday, so we'll get those done over the weekend. Sway bars, trailing arms, stuff like that. So I just really wanted to get those taken out. I might take it over tomorrow with me to give me something to do. Yes, M's are in stock. Gene, not a problem. Thanks. Yeah, go through, watch the videos, stuff like that. And I do have a lot of them on breakdowns, and even just looking at the build and seeing what I'm using can give you a good idea. You could probably have had any issues with the lay-down servo mount. Steering link not lining up. I wish the mount was adjustable to mount the servo further rearward. I haven't had any issues necessarily, so let me pull this body off. It'd be a lot easier to see. Oh no. I'm gonna totally forget I dropped that. Well, whew, that was a close one. So I know I can't get any of those mounts in time. So for the laydown mount, I kind of cheat. So, or I at least cheat to get started. Get the laydown mount and everything in there. Get the pan hard bar, everything there set there. So for the drag link, the steering, I set the steering servo in, power everything on, center the servo. Then I put the servo horn on and make sure it is straight up and down. Then I take like adjustable Traxxas tow bar, tie bar, anything like that that's adjustable, fits that length, and then I center the wheels and I measure from there, from the eye to eye, from the servo horn to the knuckle, and then I spin the Traxxas arm to meet that length, and then been lazy on a couple of these. I just haven't done, actually, I have them, I just haven't put them on. Once I get the length right, make sure all my steering, everything's good there for minimal, bump steer, all that good stuff. Get everything as minimal as I can. Then I take that overall length and have a custom link made. Oh, Scott Hatfield, thank you. $4.99. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Almost got my class 1 and 2 ready for RC four-wheel drive. East Coast Challenge. I want to go. Then Super Shafty Fall Crawl. Can't wait for the first time. Going to big event. Heck yes. That is awesome. I wish I could go to one of those two events. But I have King, Missouri, then Crawlapalooza, and the plan, and I have approval for Scale Nationals. So that's the plan. And actually, maybe even AxoFest next year. I mentioned it to the wife, and she thinks it would be a fun trip just to go and have some fun. Steven, I have a Brazen chassis, going to put a Vanquish VFD in it. Good for class 3. VFD is a solid transmission. It's Ford motor mount. It has optional overdrive for it and everything like that. It has the 6% right off the bat. You can do the 21%, so you can get plenty of overdrive out of that transmission. It is lower, gives you transfer case points, I believe, as well. And puts that motor forward in a very good spot. Call my Gene Simmons Smashing Pumpkins. That is very, very true, because it does. Then again, Thin Digital was thinking AR45s with the BreakCat 3-gear plastic transmission, servo and axle, 4-link, just to get something going. That would definitely work. That would definitely get you going. And the AR45 portals, again, they're a pretty solid axle. Just careful in the binding so they don't snap or anything like that. Indy, where's Super Shafty Fall Crawl held at? That's a good question. I do not know. I have it saved, I think. Let me check here. Is anyone? I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me check here. And Facebook wants an update, so I can't check that right now. There you go. Thank you, Scott. Indy, Maryland, Deep Creek. There you go. Facebook side wanted to update, so I can't get any information off of that. Whew. Oh my goodness, so much stuff and random bolts. I'm gonna lose something. That's why we keep a spare parts bag. So I can put everything in here for the Rift. I think that's those. Should be all of these. Oh my goodness. Not those, but I do need these. 1 second, guys. Let me get cleaned up here a little bit. I need to order one of the nice parts trays with the separate components, so I can just put everything where it's kind of supposed to go, and keep everything a little more organized. A magnetic tray is nice and strong, but sometimes it just doesn't hold stuff where I want it to be held. Okay, that is all my Rift pieces. The half of the Rift, the front half of the Rift. Good to go. Austin, do you think for C1 straight axles would make the car too low? I run straight axles. It is low. It is low. But a lot of places where I comp, side hill is one of the biggest challenges there. Doing side hill, and straight axles, side hill better than portals. Just everything's nice and lower. Yeah, the truck can struggle on the breakover points. But driving, picking the better lines to gates and through the obstacles, and all else fails, winch out. When in doubt, winch out. Okay, G11 servo and Crawlmaster winch came in today. Very nice. Always good mail call. Dalton, currently building my first P3. Lots of inspiration from you. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully I helped or out a lot, not, or sorry that I pushed you into spending money to build RC cars, because that's something we all get looks from every once in a while. So anyways, let's get started on doing a little bit of this. Actually, I don't think I want to do that yet. I don't. I'm going to save those. I'll do those later because I have to grease those and wait for other things to come in. So in the meantime, we're going to mess with the Vanquish. So this is just I wanted to go nice scale truck, so I went with my RC4 dry body on Vanquish VS410 Pro chassis. And since then, I mean, just my more scale truck, small tires, anything like that. Crawlapalooza coming up in October has a Class 0. So this is becoming my Class 0 truck. I had to do some work from what it was at. I had to add some fender flares to cover my tires. I have doors. I was really excited to get the tube doors for this build, but the tube doors are not legal for Class 0, apparently. So I have the stock doors. They're still gray. I'm just going to stick them on the outside because they're only going to be for that little bit crawling there. I need to work. I need to add wheel wells, or fender liners. So we're going to add those here in a little bit. I ordered the Vanquish ones too because I don't know what I did when I took them off of this truck. I put them somewhere and they disappeared. So had to order some new ones, and we'll get them on and have to do quite a bit of cutting to get everything to fit back where it should. It's your fault. I spent a lot of money. No, it's your fault. I mean, you can take the blame. That's perfectly fine. It's downward. Yeah, Indy, it's a downward spiral money pit, but it is a ton of fun. Gary, how do I start the winch line in the spool? Because it does come pre-spooled. So what I do, I pull the spool out. I take the end of the line, wet it down a little bit, or with a lighter, just hit it just enough where it hardens up, and I put it through and just do one wrap, and then I put it on the servo, and I used the set screw to hold that, pinch that winch line down there in the bottom. You can do it, hand wind it from there, or plug it in and let the controller go and let it wind itself up. Wrapping it by hand sometimes is just faster because you're right there, wrap it all up, and then good to go. Also, getting the V3 C2 finished up, making the final cuts on the Mojave. Then I need to heat, bond everything back together. Sounds like a good start. Bodywork's not my favorite, so beyond all of the power to you. I did my one. I think I'm good. Ah, there it is, all of its glory. I will need that. So, there's more stuff right here on the table than anything else. Sweet. I'm going to cut all of that stuff right back off. So, I'm going to need to make some very aggressive cutting here. Yeah, man. I'm going to cut a lot of this off. Oh well, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to serve its purpose. Cut that one. Now this one's going to actually be a lot of cutting because my shock towers go through the bed on my Class 0. Let's see here. Gary, no problem. You're welcome in. Matthew Bourne, did I hear anything about the T10 not counting as transfer case points? Yes, I did. That issue was addressed at that event, and it was counted. As far as I know, currently, as everything sets and Sorka rules, at Scale Nationals, the T210 and the other one did receive transfer case points. That's how I'm building mine right now until new rules come out or someone says something. The T210 I count as a transfer case. Ralph, how's it going? It's all good. Everyone's got stuff to do. Everyone's got their own lives. It's just a little me just chilling here. Nothing much. We pulled axles out of a rift to upgrade some axle housings. A little bit of talk and some other people's V3s going. And we'll be getting some stuff lined up here for probably some giveaways or just, again, saying thank you and appreciation, stuff like that. And just trying to get a lot of stuff done and make sure I'm fully ready for King, Missouri. Gary. Oh, yes. He does. That I think he's got the new RC 4-wheel drive 4Runner. That thing is sweet. I finished painting and getting this 4Runner and VS410 built, and then I believe it was the very next week, RC 4-wheel drive announced that 4Runner, fully detailed, scaled out RTR, and it was a flip the table moment. Yeah, I was kind of sad because it looks way better than how my Monstrosity came out, but it was cool. I got to do my own paint and everything like that, so it worked good. And plus, needed something to put the Vanquish chassis to use for, and at least make it somewhat able to go outside and have some fun again. So this is going to be the fun one. That might work. We're going to have to do. I'll have to see how that works. Oh man, oh goodness, all the cutting, cut everything, cut twice, measure once, right? And that's how we're gonna do this today. I did move those shock towers back. That's not smart of me. You can see how amazing accurately I am making these marks. So there's really not much area underneath of here, so I don't have to cover a whole lot, and they'll be painted black, so it doesn't matter. Whew. Giveaways, yes, we're working on it. We're working on it. So same for your first crawl. I mean, I got my first one, and then it was kind of like an epic, just immediate downfall. But you get your friends involved. I got my sister involved to make horrible financial decisions in this hobby. Theron blames me for everything he buys. So at this point, it is okay, and I'm used to it. Oh, God. Stay. Yes. Yeah. Cut twice. Always cut towards the softer part of your body. Yes, it's true. Scott, do I get scale points for the wheel wells on the Mojave bed? The actual bed itself, no, I don't believe so. I believe you actually do need to add some form of fender liner in there. Rather be craft foam, Lexan, anything like that. I do believe you do need to. Juarez, will any stock SCX10 skid work with the V3? As far stock skid, I believe so. There are a ton of flat. One thing with stock skids, you always have to remember stock skids hang down below the frame rails. So one thing you may want to look at invest in, even if you have access to a 3D printer or know someone that 3D print, there are lots of flat skid options out there for that. And also with the G-Speed, the G-Speed is made to be 67 millimeters wide. Most of your stock skids are wider, so that can play with your angles and other stuff when assembling. So I would definitely look into getting a 3D printed flat skid, the G-Speed white skid, Vader skids, stuff like that. Lots of options out there, and they're all about that $20 range, give or take. Yeah, yes, then that is another option. Or, I mean, I always frown upon this because it's not good. I've used it before just to get a truck, but Tower Hobbies has their own special, like the Easy Pay, whatever it is. It's pretty convenient and it does work. I tried it just to try it, and it works if I want to just do a truck and not think about it for a little bit. Indie, more fun. Yeah. Kits are either building from scratch or kits are pretty good. If you're going to stay in like kind of the RTR platform, the kits are always fun because you do put them together. Vanquish kit, I know it is in its own category, but that is seriously, the Vanquish is probably one of the most soothing and relaxing kits to put together. The quality of the instructions, everything is just, it goes together amazing. Yeah, it's in its own world, but it's definitely worth it. And ground up builds are nice too. Because another thing with RTRs and stuff like that, you're gonna upgrade stuff, wheels, tires, shocks, electronics. Sometimes a lot of times by the time you look back at all your upgraded, you could have got a kit, just put in what you wanted right off the bat, or built a ground up truck and either came out cheaper or right about the same and with most likely a higher level of truck. Oh, no problem. Wires, there you go. Whew. Yeah, there's seen a lot of RTRs and stuff like that pop up. Pretty good prices. eBay Marketplace or some of the buy sell pages. Just be careful on a lot of that. Or there's buy sell pages. Definitely use PayPal goods and services. That way, money everything's checked. Or eBay's always. I mean, you're protected through there multiple ways. So let's mess up some stuff here. Goodness gracious, I couldn't cut a straight line to save my life. Okay, yeah. From that to about that, that's a lot of room I have to take out of there because it's just a narrow body, so it is all good. Yeah, Vanquish axles, they're expensive and they hold their value. Yeah, most of the time you get a pro or ultra kit. They were 750, 800. Now they're 850 and 900. I haven't checked. I know they've went up along with just about everything else, but yeah, that's a lot of people did. They got them, the axles. They either kept the axles or got rid of the axles. The axles you can easily, almost always pull $400 to $500 for those axles at almost any given point in time, and you can also just part out the rest of the truck too. The chassis is worth, a lot of stuff's kind of worth its own weight in gold for the most part when you think about it. And especially right now, a lot of stuff, private sale wise, unfortunately, is probably going to go up with stuff being hard to get, not being readily available, and there's always someone out there looking to make more than what they had, or just holding on to stuff. Yeah, exactly, Scott. Yeah, by the time, I do enjoy, like, the 21 Bronco is pretty sweet, or the Gladiator. It's pretty sweet, just because I know those are also, those aren't performance oriented rigs. They're specifically for trailing and some light crawling. And if I want to jump one of my crawlers, I wouldn't feel bad about jumping the Bronco. If something breaks, it breaks. It better not break. But yeah, by the time you start doing all that, especially if you're building more for performance, you're gonna replace almost everything on an RTR, and a lot of times you can budget build a ground up truck. I've done it many a times, and I still do. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, let's just see what I can build budget wise. My current class 2 was a spare parts budget build. I just grabbed spare parts I had in my drawer and put it together. And then I was like, you know what? I really like the way this does. And it turned full-fledged build and is now my class 2 truck. So mistakes were made. I'm gonna try this. Ah. Okay, cool. Ooh, throw the trash away real quick. EK Poly, how long have I been a Toyota Tech? Just over 13 years now. I've started straight out of Votech and never left. Yeah. But yeah, it's I like working in cars. It's fun, it's good, it's all great. People, the when I decided to go in automotive, it was a lot of looking. College, different things I was curious in and really wanted to do. But then I just started thinking about it. price of a full-blown college versus my 9 months to a year at my tech school. Get some good experience and just kind of look at the long haul. Like for quite some time, people are always going to need cars. So I didn't see cars, and I don't see cars going anywhere soon, whether they're still gas powered or electric. I will adapt and learn how to fix all of them. So I wanted to stay somewhere where it was safe. We have big aircraft here. Aircraft is huge, very, very huge, but it's just wasn't as secure as I wanted to be. Yeah, definitely. If you keep an eye out on some of the used pages, you can definitely probably find some there, or at least enough, even if it's not RTR. Even if you just get a slider to get you started, then next one get a motor, next one get ESC, then servo, and go together from there. Or even just like in the 10-2 builder's kit, if it's still, I believe it's still available. The 10-2 builder's kit's $200, and it's a solid starter build, and you can go from there, upgrade from that. Custom RC crawlers. What would I do for a home crawler course? Everything. I have the Exo Caged RCs. I have his videos saved on how his course is laid out and how I chose to do stuff. I would like to do something very, very similar to that. Build, like I said, our local area is pretty good. It's not a far drive. I can get there in about 10 minutes to go crawl, and we have lots of terrain and rocks to crawl on. But home course, definitely something. I would do some bridges, probably some teeter totters, go to rock pile, some nice steep inclines. I would like to do kind of like almost a half pipe for do some good side hill challenges, stuff like that, or even a rock wall. Like an actual rock wall to climb on would be at a right angle to give everything to go over, stuff like that. Before I cut through the grass and found all the poison sumac, I was attempting to clear out everything around the garage and build a small little course for me to at least do some upgrades here on the table, go outside and test it. I still plan on doing that, but it's going to get postponed until all the evil sumac dies and I kill it all out with some weed killer. But probably will be looking probably about time for a new house here next couple of years. So I'm definitely looking for some place with some land or some more natural terrain so I can build my own full course. I think that's good there. One second. Tristan. You good? Okay. Making sure he's all taken care of and actually eating. I think he's watching Dragon Ball Z. I may have to go in there and join him here shortly. Oh, man. So, anyways. So. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. I think I'm just going to have to cut everything out of there. Man. That is just... There's just no room under there. I was hoping these because I think these would be... I thought this would be an easier option since it is a Vanquish. But it does not appear I'm going to get that lucky. I have to pull out the old craft foam and just make some. Oh yeah, I'm just going to have to cut that in half. We may have to finish that another night. I got a lot more work to go with that than I was anticipating. Custom steel, aluminum, G10, or carbon fiber for an outlaw rig. Outlaw in your area, is that just basically like class 3 with no limits, or is that specific like kind of like a tough truck challenge where your truck is going to take a beating. If it's just kind of like, class 3 with no limits, I like carbon fiber G10. If it's going to be something where your truck's going to get some abuse, maybe some bigger falls or just some rougher style terrain, stuff like that, I'd probably look at the aluminum or the steel. I would probably do aluminum myself just for the weight factor, and it's going to hold up just as good there. C3 all above the R60s. Yep. G10 or aluminum. That's just going to be kind of your fancy. Aluminum is very lightweight. I like the aluminum build a lot. Just swap the kids over to it. And I mean, G10 is always solid. Can't go wrong with the G10 rail. And the G10 is very, very strong as well. Jade profile pic, that's my GSP V3. Ooh, I will have to check that out as soon as I can make it go bigger. I don't want to risk getting something there. Nathan Worm, do you think the Holmes Magnum motors are worth the money? I've never personally used one, but people I've talked to, they're a solid. They're a very, very good brush motor, and when you're looking for performance stuff like that, the higher dollar motors, brushed or brushless, they're gonna be worth it because you want all that control, all of that power. Like I said, I don't run them, and I don't run Holmes motors, especially those ones very much. I Three Brothers RCs in all my comp trucks or brush motors. I'll usually stick around like the Crawlmaster Sport, stuff like that. But like I said, I haven't personally used one, but I've heard tons of good things about it, and people do really like the motor. So that's where I'm at there. Something else I needed to do today. But I think we showed a little bit of this last time. This is the Kiddo's new V3. This is the Red Cat Wendigo build. Still got some link work to go, but overall, I think it came out pretty good with a good old bug body there. Changed up, he has put the modded Enduro shocks on it. We got Stealth X transmission, dual servo mount, Spectrum 2-in-1 Firma ESC, but overall, everything there came out pretty good. I said links are the biggest thing right now on my challenge and getting all of that stuff done, getting some links made, and then we'll be good to go. And he's going to rock on 2.2s. This is going to be his kind of overall just trail or just kind of beat it truck. So overall, came out pretty good. I like it. It has a nice mean stance with it. And the wide axles, he likes it better in this form than the stock Wendigo form. It's just limited. It's big, bulky, everything like that. V3 definitely gave us his tuning options and got everything set lower. So came out really good. He likes it. So that's a win in my book. Okay. Gary, on the G11 and Chromemaster, I don't have all the electronics yet for the V3. Kind of tested by putting the wires into a Dean's plug. I wouldn't go that way without some form of receiver or receiver for the signals, because they can just start doing some weird things. Yeah, it'll be direct power, direct battery powered, but you're going to need like a servo tester or something to regulate the right signals and stuff like that. Yeah, there's some new motors coming out from Three Brothers. There is a 10-pole sensor brushless motor coming out here soon. The Yellow Jackets are Outrunner motors. I like one actually my motor right now, and Kratos 3800. I love those motors. From a lot, and it was a little bit much at first, but the Outrunner noise has grown on me, and I like the way it sounds. So we stick with Outrunners. Uh, One. Do I use any divorce transfer cases in my rigs? Currently, no. Soon, yes. I'm getting some stuff built. Waiting on a few parts to come in, and then we'll be going there. I am, speaking of, yes, I have a Team Garage Hack transfer case. This is going in my class 1, just waiting on my Ford motor mount to get here. And I was thinking about swapping from my 2-low to the Creeper T in my class 3 truck. Just not sure if I'm going to get everything here in time, and kind of fit everything into, a last little budget before I take a few trips. So we might hold off on that till after King, Missouri, and get it done before Crawlpalooza. But they're solid. I love all the Team Garage Hack transmissions. Ran through, and he just put 2 creepers into his truck, or creepers into his trucks, and he loves them. Instant night and day difference. Let's see. Salt McCastle 28 for the last week. Took on Sun, ran 3 force packs. I'm gonna try. Yeah, sometimes some of the motors, and yeah, I've had that where I've tried a couple of the other ones, and even though your tuning's about the same, I've gone back in through CastleLink and changed a few things, like the timing and stuff like that. And there was a motor I didn't think I was gonna like at all, but I adjusted just a couple little things, and it made a night and day difference. It's I find there's sweet spots for different motors, especially between the 2850 and the Polar 2700. Might check. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know there is a sweet spot and something specific on that I know people are changing to, and it works really, really well. Uh, yeah, as long as, yeah, you can put them directly to the Dean's plug. Just be careful. Make sure nothing arcs. That Other than that, yeah, you should be good. That should be enough to test it and make sure it works. One, the Creeper Tina V3, but it's not running yet, so yeah, you should like it. It'll be very, very awesome. Gets that motor up there, 30% overdrive, just awesome. Matt, what axles with that Ford motor mount am I going to be using? My class 1 will be actually my class 1 and the class 3 currently. When they get them, they both run in Air 44s. So class 1 will get the transfer case of Ford motor mount first. It will be in the Air 44s. 2-low in the VS410 chassis. Yeah, 2-low's pretty sweet. I have 2-lows in the T-Rex build and the class 3 currently. My favorite transmission is the T210. That is in my class 2. SSD diamonds are a solid upgrade. Even just swapping out that middle housing, you'd be good to go. Yeah, I don't want to have to mirror anything. I kind of take the easy way out on a lot of that stuff and just kind of move it and hope everything fits good. And got a few of the Team Garage Hack. Got the transmission plate adapter, so I don't have to change out my skid. Got a couple of the extra long servo horns and some new Team Garage Hack decals because I was out of them. So that'll be sweet. Yeah. Well, and sometimes I do enjoy building as much, if not more, than driving. Sometimes it's just to get everything to work and come together. Works it's just fun. I enjoy it a lot. Ooh, 1 second here. Ooh. Sorry, 1 second. Hmm. Ah, boom. Sorry. Okay. There you go. Matt, yes, I do have a spur gear adapter somewhere. Somewhere I do. I may have lost it. If not, I do have an extra 56, and I can just do that for now. I can always swap it out later. Not a huge deal, but that does remind me. I do have one somewhere, and I don't know where it's at. Oh, Mishima. Have I ever tried the deluxe cheeseburger trans? No, I haven't. I haven't tried any of the deluxe transmissions, but I know people that have, and I know a lot of people really like them for overall and for certain applications. Oh, excuse me. I need to sneeze, but I can't. Whew. Sorry. India got the Team Garage Ford motor mount. Need to get a transfer case, but it's hard to catch a sale on Team Garage stuff sometimes. Any other transfer cases I suggest? I mean, honestly, right now I don't. There are a couple, but I know right now they may be on some extended times before they get them done up again. So don't want to get anybody's hopes up. 1 second here. Are you looking for the creeper or just the regular 15 or 0%? Rock Chalk RC does have all of them in stock right now. They did. Shouldn't be doing this. Screw it. Add to cart. Dang, I didn't realize they still had them in stock. Well, I'll be in trouble. We'll worry about it later. Mounts are sold out. That's right. Anyways, I'll be in trouble later. What Velcro works best for keeping batteries on the slider? Also, what batteries do I use in my rigs? I use. I think I have some left. I might be actually out of Velcro. Oh, no. I use 3M Dual Lock for mine. I use the Amazon Industrial 3M Velcro. They work really good. And as far as batteries, I use a lot of different batteries. I've had good luck with lots of batteries. If I'm just out and about trailing, local, just get some time in, I run 1300 milliamp batteries or 1500 milliamp batteries. I've just been trying these CNHL batteries. So far, they're pretty good. If I'm comping, we are running smaller batteries. We are running down to 850 milliamp batteries or 650 milliamp batteries. Small, keep everything just enough to get through my courses. And I do run 3S. Everything I can run 4S in a few things. Sometimes I don't. It depends on if your battery space. For like my trail trucks, obviously I have giant batteries in those. Like the Gatekeeper can take a bigger battery, but for just every day, if I'm just throwing the GSP on the trail, doing some crawling, just doing all the stuff, I'll throw like a 1300, 1500 milliamp in there. If I'm getting some more comp oriented practice or comping, I run an 850 or a 650 milliamp battery. Like I said, not really brand specific. I've tried lots of different batteries. There's lots of great batteries out there. And I run XT60 plugs for everything. Indie Overdrive is always nice. Yeah, so they do have the Creeper in stock, and they do have the Overdrive regular transfer case in stock too, which would be 15% overdrive. So Rock Jock RC has them in stock, and they have the 4 motor mount in stock as well. Yeah, Walmart has a good selection of Velcro too. They even have industrial Velcro as well. Oh my goodness. Woo. Oh, sorry. Ugh. Allergies just punched me in the face all of a sudden. Using the PureTech Velcro, yeah, lots of good Velcros on there. Carlos, hello, sorry you're late. It's all good. We're just out hanging out here. Looks like, it is Thursday too. So, I mean, like me and other people, you got to work in the morning or at work, depending on where you're at still. I mean, well, no, it's 8:30 here. So, just tuning in, it's fine. We're just kind of chilling, working on some projects, and kind of have to chill on those for a little bit. And then we found some transfer cases in stock at places and may have accidentally ordered some. We'll find out when they get here. Who knows? But probably go for another 15 or 20 minutes or so. That way it gives me time to cool down. I can actually finish some dinner and get some other thing. I know, it's noisy. Yeah, sorry. Oh, there we go. Feel better now. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Carlos. Tamiya shock tool. If I had my paper or notebook or anything. Write that down before I forget. It's good because I do need to order a new tool because I apparently broke my link tool as well, my link pliers. I don't know what happened, but they broke. So I'll put that on the tool list. I'm gonna order some tools anyway. I'm missing a few things. Need some new drivers. Used it, worked great, sweet. Yeah, definitely be checking that one out here real quick. Ordering some other things. Ow. So, anyways, I mean, how's everyone else been doing? Like I said, we'll be getting giveaway going. Hopefully, something here soon. I'll do some videos, get updates, stuff like that. Yes, if you're on here, like 4 giveaways. If you were following along for the last one, we gave away a full G-Speed V3 carbon fiber package. Tamiya 54152. Thank you. So we gave away a full carbon fiber V3 package kit last time. We did the giveaway here on the old tube. Do have my Instagram is my personal, but it's the same name as the channel, and we do have the Facebook as well. So I'll announce everything here on YouTube. I guess depends on how everyone feels easier to get entered and get numbers. Was it easy on here or Facebook or even Instagram? Either way works for me, and I can do a live stream on any of the platforms. But as soon as I get more details on what all we're going to be doing, I will let everybody know. 5. Sweet. I will get those going. Those died too. Man, they aren't my stuff for nothing anymore. Guess I have to get the pros. I'll get them this weekend. Working on the goodies now. Nice. That's pretty freaking awesome. Thank you, Sheena. Gary, what's the best 3/16 or 1/4 inch links? I use 3/16 on just about everything. That's just kind of been my go-to. 1/4 inch will obviously be beefier, but they'll also be a little bit heavier. Kind of what you're going for. 3/16 are going to do just fine. Indy, okay, we'll do YouTube. And obviously, I think everyone follows here more anyway. I can always just add stuff to enter and stuff like that either. So we'll keep this YouTube. And now that the live streams are, I think, going okay, we can even do the giveaway live. Spin the wheel, try to get a few things going. I know I'm thinking about ordering a few other things. I've got some awesome people here that are willing to help out and donate some stuff as well. So that is pretty sweet. Brett, my least favorite crawler. RTR, I'm assuming. Or like least favorite out there or least favorite in my collection? Because that would be a hard one, but I say least favorite RTR. Just performance-wise and breaking stuff would probably be one of the Red Cats, probably Gen 7, or Cross RC. Just parts break. It's hard to get parts or upgrade parts necessarily, stuff like that. Those would probably be my least favorite RTRs. Just with the strength factor being the biggest issue there. I mean, even though I know it's RTR's not going to be super capable as others, but just the fact that you can almost guarantee to break something every time you take one out. As far as in my collection, I don't. If we're going to go on a performance standard, probably my worst performing is well, they're both top-heavy monsters. So it would be one of either the TRX-4 Bronco or the 10.3 Gladiator. If we go least favorite just on performance, it's one of those two, just because they're not performance-based. They're trail trucks, and they're top-heavy monstrosities. And way too many scale accessories and bedrolls. Oh, sorry, Glenn, I missed your question up here. Is the Hobbywing 1080 ESC still... Yes, it is still a very relevant ESC. Solid. And for the money, very good go-to. Programming, everything there works great. And yeah, honestly, it is... I would put up there one of the best brushed ESCs. As far as money, it's definitely the best in that range, brushed ESC-wise. I'm not that cool yet to tell Vanquish to do anything. I'm still this little guy way down here. I did have an offer. Someone I know here is selling a Ripper, and I really want it, but I would be murdered. Definitely 100% if I got a Ripper. Someday maybe, or for whatever reason, there's just one that's just, it's like the axles and electronics doesn't bother me. I can always put axles, electronics, everything else like that. I just, for that factor to have, that would be pretty sweet. Or, I think they're all sold out. I know they're all sold out. I don't know if they'll make them again, but as the Pimp and Crawlers, the Rippers are doing, would be pretty sweet. Just to have one for that factor to have one, even though it is what it is. And yeah, Josh already said he's not doing, Harley Design said he's not doing those Rippers again. I am very sad that I missed out on the knowing. I mean, I wanted one when they were available to begin with. I got just the very end of it, and it was just like, wow. I mean, I was new, so I was like, dang, that's a lot of money. Now knowing and seeing what it became, and seeing, how much I did and enjoyed this side of the hobby, that's easily a top mistake, missed opportunity in life. Was not getting that, or investment. Even if you don't use it, their investment are just nuts. Uh, do I think the other crawler niche will ever make a comeback like the XR10? Uh, I don't see it happening, especially right now with everything going on, and as hard as parts already are. I don't see them bringing back that truck. That is, a very niche market. I mean, you have a specific group of people that do those. Not those aren't for everyone rig, so they're not going to. I say, especially with the parts and sourcing materials and stuff right now, the issues there. Um, I don't see that happen just because they don't want to take from a good selling a. They know they're going to sell 10.3s. They know they're still going to sell 10.2s. They don't want to take away from that production to produce a truck that might sell. I mean, yes, some of them will sell, but it's not going to sell. They're not going to sell like the 10.2 or the 10.3 or riffs or the kits, stuff like that. It would be cool, but because I would get one. I kind of want to do a sporty, but that's a world that I haven't ventured in too much. I've watched lots of videos, but there's a lot of stuff to take into fact there. But yes, Indy, it would be cool to see a new Ripper. It really would, or something similar. Like I said, Pimp and Crawlers, I believe, is building some Rippers, um, some Rippers. I think they just did 10 of them. They look amazing. Carlos may be new at this, but good set of rails is all you need. Yes, it is very much good set of uh, good set of rails. You can use like a kit to rob stuff from, or just build from the ground up. Be pretty sweet. Um, just sorry, yeah, I do, and honestly, I enjoy building the trucks from like the ground up. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy building them a lot, and like the ground up builds is also different just because you know what you're building. You know every part of that truck. You know everything you did, so you don't have to worry about stuff there. I specifically made this, fix this, address this, and you're good to go. Ever thought about getting a bully? Yes, I have. I've considered the bully several times. I just never hit the trigger. I've had a couple pop up local lately, or local before. Just still, it was usually always the wrong time for something like that to get in there. More like a climber robot than truck. Yeah, they are pretty crazy. But yeah. Yeah. I'm working on them. Trying to, Scott, trying to shorten all my wires and trying to clean up my wires. I mean, tips. I'm not gonna lie, I suck at wire management. But I can make it look pretty good and one-to-one and other stuff like that. These I can't. So zip ties and wire loom will definitely help. I know there are some super fancy ways to do it, but I just Amazon ordered some wire loom. I just kind of shove big ball of the harness in there and zip tie everything as nice as I can. Like this This is clean, but it's not clean. I'm perfectly happy with this. I know others, it is not very eye friendly, but it works. Just wire loom helps out a lot. Or I've done it a couple times. Is it the heating and curling, coiling the wire so that everything kind of goes down. The Dangy Ridge Rock. I've thought about the Ridge Rock. It's a pretty cheaper one. Looks pretty good. Or like Lowe's Nightcrawler. Just haven't quite made up my mind yet. Yeah, let's get that first scratch out of the way. Gene, do I know if it's possible to use a TRX4 to build a V1C1 Transitol? The biggest part, complicated part of the TRX4 is the transmission. And I know there are a few that make them, but it's mostly aimed at the V3. I know In the Works makes a skid that can work, but I'm pretty sure it's specifically for the V3, which means it would bolt up, but you would probably have to do some work with the links, stuff like that. And honestly, just using that trans off the top of my head, I can never think of who makes a flat skid for the TRX4 transmission to bolt into an SCX style frame rail. This came with all kinds of good stuff. Gee, mummy. Anyone make a flat rail skid for the 10-2 kit transmission? Ooh, the kit transmission. Yes, I know someone does. Look at In the Works RC. I think there is a flat skid option in the SCX10 thing, and someone else makes a 3D printed one as well. I do know it exists. Gary Cooper got a couple BCs that came with my donor rig. I don't quite understand what the heck I need for them if I'm running. If you're running all direct power, then correct. You do not need a BEC. That's one of the reasons for running direct power, is so you're not worried about BEC. As long as you can set the voltage to 6 or 7.4 on your stock ESC so you don't fry your receiver. That's the biggest part. So that'll be the only thing left getting actual power through that is your receiver. With the direct power servos, there is no need for BEC because they're getting direct full battery power and voltage. So I don't run a BEC in anything. Everything's direct power, whether it be 11 volts, 12 volts, 14 volts, 16 volts, 22 volts. It is taking direct power. Brett, will I build a cross RC Mammoth? That would be really, really sweet and really, really expensive. Those kind of trucks always get me there. Super sweet. Just definitely not a budget-friendly vehicle at almost any given point in time. But they are sweet. And the Cross RC Mammoth is, I think, one of the, even being a Cross RC product, I know people, it seems like they're more skilled, those military trucks. They seem to have just enough more quality to make them pretty good. Mishima, Fish Crawler RC also makes some custom skids. If you're looking for some custom skids for that kit transmission, check them out as well. Yes, they make a lot of several custom skids, so definitely look there too. Ridge Rock is nice as a modding platform, but wet noodle, but performs real good after some tires and mods. Yeah, a lot of those can just a few things can really open them up and, you know, change just every bit of how well they perform. Is the Night Customs for the TRX4 skid? I think their skid is that Night Customs for the TRX4, correct? I think so. I think that one is. I think that is an SCX style platform. That may be what I've been trying to think of this entire time. Every time someone's asked, Night Customs does make one of those, and I believe it is for an SCX pattern. Thank you for finally thinking of that, because that's been driving me bonkers. Brett, Talks budget has how many rigs? There's a few. Well, you gotta have your comp rigs. You have to have a bouncer. You have to have G-Speed 6x6. Those are just the rules. You have your Lexan trail trucks that you could just bash. You have your backup, and you have your scale truck. And then, I mean, there's also 4 out of this video, all of the kiddos trucks too. So, I mean, I may have some, but I mean, I had a couple, like when I had X-Max built, done, traded, ended up with just kind of a several car deal. You know, the bashers kind of helped get some of the trucks underway, and some things, more trucks. And again, I'm financially irresponsible. We'll just go with that. Mentioned the volts going to the transmitter to be at 7.4. For your receiver, they don't necessarily need to be 7.4 volts. I think that's the highest setting, and that is a programmable feature on the 1080. I think the 1080 comes set at 6 volts, which honestly, either one of those is going to be fine. That built-in BC will be fine, because since they're just powering just the receiver, you'll be good. Most receivers, as long as your receiver can handle 7, make sure your receiver can handle 7.4. Some receivers specifically say not to 7.4 volts. So then you would set it down to the lower 6 volt setting. Okay. I'm losing things. Theron, he don't have a budget. Shut up, man. Oh, shush. Quit ratting me out. It's not fair. It's not nice. We don't do that to each other. How can I get in touch with you so I can get help with my build? Easiest way, Instagram through TRD_adventures88 through the messenger. And that I go through. Sometimes it's a day or two sometimes before I check Instagram. I just not on Instagram every day. I also have the Facebook page, TRD Adventures on Facebook. You can message through that as well. Will be the easier way to message me. Like I said, sometimes I don't get all the notifications. Sometimes are super delayed for whatever weird reason. So I will eventually answer. It may not be right off the bat, but I think I do a pretty good job of getting in touch with people. So those are the easiest ways messaging wise. Brett, most of you have ever budgeted for was a skill accessory. You know, you gotta get those points, man. It's all about the points. Huh, that's how that works. I think. Ooh, wow. Those are massive. Like, awesome. So pretty sweet. So here real quick, we're going to see a little bit of bearing difference here between the stock rift housing and the trail housing. And it does come with a bearing. So that is awesome, but that is definitely a much heavier duty bearing in there, so that was pretty sweet. Ooh. Oh, Carlos, well, thank you very much. $4.99 again for morning pick me up. Appreciate it, man. I really do. Think a video on direct servos and wiring may go a long way with helping others. Yes, that is another video I've been trying to go through. I just got to pick one of my trucks and take it apart a little bit, and then I can set that up. Because the direct power servos, it's actually not as intimidating or daunting as it sounds. You just need most of your direct power servos, aftermarket wise, use the JST connector. And simply, this is from 3 Brothers RC. This is an XT60 adapter with dual JST, so it just plug in line ESC side, battery side, and plug in your servos. One servo, generally is 2 steering servo and servo winch, or 3 in the case of class 3, where 2 steering servos and a servo winch. But I do plan on, and will try to get a standalone video on those direct power servos. Because I know several people have asked, I just have not gotten there yet. Whew. They're on. Yeah, don't set my phone. Don't you dare. The thing rings enough as it is. Whew. If I sent you a servo and receiver, then you send it back after. I mean, wouldn't do anything really. I mean, the receiver, you're just plugging in to the receiver. Is just going to be the signal wire, basically. The signal on the ground. Just enough there to tell the servo which direction and plugged in. But we will do a video. I'll try not. It should be a simple enough video. I'll try to get one knocked out this weekend. So it'll be a pretty short and simple video, but we can do that. I'll knock that out. What was I doing? Okay. Yeah. Left, right. Right as in right from the front, or right as in right from the rear? Sorry. Yeah. Oh, do never work. Okay, there we go. Good. I was really confused there for a second. Sorry. And yes, I do. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have extra servos and stuff laying around, and I can always take some out and redo them. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, they're on 3D printing things. Oh, yeah, they're on a couple more stands. Thank you. If you're already going to be here listening, well, knock out a few more. Oh. Whew. Well, anyways, we are probably going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. It is getting close. I gotta make sure little one is taken care of, all that good stuff. In the meantime, so I will gonna be finishing getting these all done. Get the rift upgraded, finished, built probably this weekend, and then we'll get a video on it and some running time, and go from there. Video on direct power servos, just installing and getting them set up. Also, we'll update video on possible giveaways, stuff like that. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Maybe a little bit on the next couple videos, just because I got several things going over the next couple weeks. But King of Missouri is fast approaching, so that is awesome, and I'm just trying to get prepared for that mentally, and cars, trucks ready to rock and roll. So, in the meantime, everyone have a great one and crawl on as always. And inject. Oh no. All right, everyone have a good one.